Good afternoon, YouTube. This is a follow-up video to the one I did the other day about your inalienable rights. We've all got them, ladies and gentlemen. All you've got to do is say no. Simple. No. No more from this tyrannous, corrupt, evil, totalitarian Parliament. We voted to leave. 31st, we're supposed to have left. So why is Boris still anchoring on till December to try and negotiate a leaving process and a deal? No, we've left. WTO rules, bye-bye EU, gone. Because if we don't, we are going to end up a vassal state. And trust me, you don't end up a vassal state because we'll be subservient to them tyrannous people over there in Brussels for the rest of our days. Cannot let that happen, guys. We've got to start standing up for our rights. Stop worrying about other people's rights. It's our country, it's our culture, everything else that's been flushed down the pan to be replaced by God knows what else they're trying to bring in. But we know they're bringing migrants in. It's wrong. We have inalienable rights too. They cannot override our rights with theirs. And I said this in the video the other day. If we was in Saudi Arabia now, we'd have to live by their laws. We wouldn't be able to say, well, we've got inalienable rights. We want to change all your laws to what we have in England. And say, well, if that's what you want to do, go back to England. We've got to start being more forceful and more... what's the word I'm looking for? More forceful and more forthright in our attitude towards these people. Because otherwise, you ain't going to get anywhere. It's just going to be the same old, drag it on. By then, the Lisbon Treaty will kick in. And we'll just be tied there forever anyway. Nobody's listening. People say, oh, but the Lisbon Treaty's been out since 2008. Yes, it has. But it's been signed off in stages for the simple reason. Because they couldn't do it all at once because people would have been up in arms. So it's been done in stages. And the European army isn't out the window. At all. You may think it is, but it's not. Listen, how can I put this? I don't want to offend anybody here, but if you think any politician anywhere in the world is for you, the people, you're sadly mistaken. They all work for the scumbag elites, the Rothschilds, etc., the Rockefellers. They are there to do their bidding. Because if they wasn't, they wouldn't be there. And if they was truly against them, and we'll see whether it's true. I'm on the fence with Trump. I don't know what's going on with Trump. I'd like to think he's a good guy. But I can tell you one thing. If Trump's a good guy, he will be taken out. 100%. Because they've come too far now. They're not going to let a politician or any party come between them and their end goal. The only people is us that can come between them and their end goal, because they are frightened to death of people power. It's the only thing that can expose these people for what they are and bring about change for the world. Nobody else is going to do it. You've all got to get up off your arses and do something. You've got to be more proactive. I don't mean as in go out fighting, but you've got to be more proactive. You've all got to, in all your areas, you've got to write to your MPs and you've got to say, listen, we voted to leave the EU, WTO rules. That's what we want you to bring up in the Parliament. And if everybody does that in every constituency, they'll have no alternative but to do that. Because they're committing treason against you, the people. If they don't, they've got to do the will of the people, ladies and gentlemen. And I just don't get it why people are just sitting back and letting these things happen. They're all having a drink, cup of teas and cups of coffee and a beer and a smoke together, laughing at us in the Parliament. They're like this in the Parliament to teach you that, but when they come out, they're all sitting around buddies. And if you don't think that goes on, then more fool you guys, because it does. Politics is dead at this moment in time in every country because it's been infiltrated. The shadow governments over here, that's what we call them. In America, it's the deep state. Everywhere, all around the world, the governments have been infiltrated to do the bidding of the Rothschilds and bring you all into enslavement and control as fast as possible. These chips that we're going to start trying to bring out now, just say no. It's simple. Just say no, guys. Because just tell them you've got inalienable rights, and one of those inalienable rights is the right to privacy, and you're not having it. Simple as. But the problem we've got with that is people will say, but I work at Asda, I work at Morrison's, and if I don't have the chip, they're telling me I ain't got a job anymore. Well, what would you rather have, a job or be enslaved? Because that's what you're going to be doing. If everybody tells them to, they ain't having the chip. They ain't going to be able to do everything. This is why we say you've all got to stick together on this, because it doesn't matter what you do. I've said this in my videos for the last 2 years. You don't own your homes. You own the bricks and mortar. You don't own the land. They can come along at any time and say, right, we're having the land back. You can knock it down, take all the bricks and what have you with you and all your furniture, but we're having the land back. And there's you can do about it. Because they've wormed the way in. The only way you're going to do something about it is by all sticking together. Unify. Use your inalienable rights and our Constitution, because they are both the solution to this problem, and it's that simple, and it's not going to cost you any money other than 5 minutes, 10 minutes to learn your inalienable rights. The Constitution we can help you with, but you need to know your inalienable rights so you can start fighting back against these people. It's that simple, guys. Really, really is. But we can't force people to do it. It's down to you. It's down to your conscience. That's what it's down to, really. Your conscience. If you've got a conscience and you want your children to have a better future, then you'll do it. If you think all these things are great, laptops, iPads, mobile phones, Androids, and you think that's all great and it's the future, they're just dumbing you down. That's all they've done for the last 40 years. They've dumbed you down. They've took the Magna Carta out of the school curriculum for a reason, because they don't want you knowing your rights. Nobody mentions inalienable rights anywhere in politics, because again, they don't want you to know your rights, because you'll use them against them once you know them, and they know this. But trust me, guys, if you want a future for your children, now is the time. Learn your inalienable rights, learn the Constitution. Inalienable rights first, because they're easier to learn. You can learn the Constitution later. But your main thing is to learn your inalienable rights so you can stop them giving you this chip and everything else under your rights to privacy and other things. That's all I can tell you. I don't like having to say this, but the future is in your hands. Our future can be very, very bright. But we need the people to make it happen. But if you want to be a dumbed down, brainwashed society, keep watching that TV in the corner, Coronation Street, EastEnders, Emmerdale, and the bullshit mainstream media news. You see, that's another thing. We're supposed to have freedom of the press, i.e., the mainstream media and the tabloids are supposed to tell the truth. So all this stuff that's going on in France with the yellow vests, if you was living in a democracy, you would be being told this stuff on a daily basis. On BBC, ITV, Sky, Euronews, Channel 4, that all be reporting the truth. And because they're not, that should be a big massive red flag to show you that they are in cahoots with the governments around the world for you not to know what's going on. It's on a need-to-know basis. And you don't need to know what's going on in France and other parts of the world, because you will wake up and you'll think, wow, look what's happening there. We need to back these people. You can't back them. The masses, I mean, not us, the patriots, because we all know. But the masses can't get behind it and back it because they don't know what's going on. Because the majority of people don't go on social media. They sit in the house and believe everything that little programmable box that's there to brainwash them and program them 24 hours a day. They sit there and believe everything that comes out of that little box and the two speakers on the side. And until you can get them away from there, bring them into reality, that's what we've got to do. We've all got a duty of care for our children, ladies and gentlemen. So I implore you all, stop listening to that box in the corner. Wake everybody up, tell them to get rid of the box in the corner for the children. And let's get this show on the road, because we've got a hell of a lot of arsenal against these. They may have all the weapons and they may have all the acts and statutes on the side, but look in any book, law trumps acts and statutes all day long. And we've got the law on our side. We can do this, guys. We can rejoice. We can be. The future's bright. But all we need is for people to start waking up to what's going on in the world and around them. Be more aware of what's going on around you and stop worrying about who's been killed or who's missing in these soaps. Because it's not real. Yes, it's entertainment, and that's what it's done for. So is all your sports, your tennis, your football, your rugby. It's all this is 20th century, 21st century, sorry. It's a 21st century Colosseum, but it's mobile. That's all it is. It's to keep you occupied so they can carry on doing what they're doing behind your backs. You will wake up eventually. Everybody will wake up eventually, whether it's by your own means or whether it's when they knock on the door and start dragging you off. But you will wake up sooner or later. I would rather it be sooner so we can all unite and do something about these evil, tyrannous, corrupt parliamentarians who sit in Westminster having champagne meals at dinner time on our taxpayers' money, while you've got to work your slog your guts out for 60 hours a week and you can't even pay your bills because the council tax, gas bills, electric bills, TV licence just going up again. Don't pay it. Don't pay your TV licence. Tell them you're not paying for propaganda. Their propaganda, they're not telling the truth. When they start putting the truth out, you'll pay for it, but you're not paying for the shit service. If you went for your car and you put it in for a service, and they just blowed your tyres up and said, well, there you go, give me the money. You'd say, well, you ain't serviced it properly. You haven't done your job properly. You're not getting any money. And this is how we've got to start being. It's the only way. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there because I've got to get somewhere now. So, but just think about what I've said, please. And I implore you all, do it for your children. Because your children, look them in the eyes when they're playing on the rug or whatever. Look your children in the eyes. And can you honestly say you're doing the best to give them the future they deserve? All you're doing is feeding them to be indoctrinated in the New World Order. Slaves. Well, I'll leave it there, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you all soon. Here's my hand, here's my heart. Love every single one of you. Stay safe, and please wake up, guys.